glorious, isn't it? Yes. It's still spring. You haven't hit summer yet. That's why it's still beautiful. Because you know in summer it gets very hot. Today I want to talk to you about what's in your garden. Not what's in your wallet, like the TV says. We all know that from Capital One. How many of you have heard that? But what's in your garden? Spring is the time when we begin to see the flowers blooming again. After a long, cold winter, when things tend to remain dormant and go back. But they're preserving their inner self for blooming. It's a renewal of nature, a renewal of effort and reward. Now, I planted lots of plants. I have lots of plants around my house. And some of them, the little sticks turned all brown. So I thought, well, I've got to trim those back, see if they come back. And then some of them I actually had to pull out. Oops. But when you're starting a new year of rebirth and regrowth, that has to do with your inner self too. And there's three things when you're building a garden. The first is your desire. You have to have a plan to have a garden, right? And then the second step, of course, is preparing the soil. You can't just, well, you could just throw them in there. I don't know that they'd make it, but you have to throw them in. Prepare the soil. Make sure that your soil is fertile and good and will help those plants grow. And the third one is continued care. Because if you just plant them and never ever look at them again, or talk to them, some people talk to their plants. So these three steps are important. And when we have a desire and a plan for ourselves to get better and to grow, because that is our purpose here on this plane, is to learn, to grow, to gain knowledge, to be better. But it takes a plan, does it not? I mean, you can go haphazardly or foraging forward, hoping that things hit you. But if you have a plan, if you make a plan and have that down, everything that is needed for that plan will come to you. You know, our pioneers had a desire and a plan to let us know. Thank you, Charles B. Rosner, because he let us know. It was his plan and desire for communication with this world to let us know that we go on from this earth plane. This is not it. And so strong was his desire, along with the Fox family and many others, to help bring that into fruition. It was their plan. They had set aside ways that they could connect with us. And fortunately, we listened. This is your time now to set some goals for yourself, to see where your life is lacking, see where you need to go forward. Because you know, nobody can do it for you. You have to do it yourself. It would be really nice if we could, what is that show with the witch who just twinkles her? Bewitched. If we could just go, nah, and everything would be perfect. But that's not the way it happens. We have to have a plan. And as soon as you set a plan, then Spirit can begin to work with you to bring about the progress that you need. So, desire and plan. First, it has to be here before it comes out, right? We all know that thoughts are things. And some of the thoughts that we think are really good. Some of the thoughts that we think aren't so good. But it's your choice what you think. So it's your choice what you plan to bring into your life. The second step is preparing your soil. Now, fortunately, those of us in Florida, we live in pretty good soil, although there's a lot of sand. Can you imagine living in Georgia with all that clay and trying to have to dig down to get to the... So you have to prepare your soil. And it's going to depend on where you plant your plants. because sometimes you need a little bit more fertile soil. Now they have all of these newfangled fertilizers. Have you seen the ones, the Miracle Grow with the moisture control that keeps them moist? I mean, it's just amazing. But you have to get that soil underneath good. If there's weeds and roots and rocks, how well are your plants going to grow? Not very well. So you have to get all that out. You have to weed all that. You have to prepare the soil. You have to dig in the dirt and get to the nitty-gritty. Just like you do in your life. Sometimes you have weeds that pop up and you think, ooh, I don't like that thought. Ooh, that makes me uncomfortable. It's time to pluck those weeds out. Look back at the negative thinking that you've been bringing forward through your life and weed it out. Because thoughts are things. And the only way to get rid of those is to replace them with fresh, new, positive energy, positive vibrations. Because if you don't do that, nothing's going to survive in your life. I know none of you have ever felt like you were in a rut. I know that. But let's just say maybe one time you almost felt like that. You know how you feel just like you're trudging through and you just can't make it through? That is your body and spirit trying to help you, telling you something isn't right, let's fix it. You know, Spirit did a lot of preparation. The first time they made themselves known with the Fox sisters was just the beginning. They didn't stop there. They continued to work and to prepare. The pioneers came forward and they helped us. The forerunners of spiritualism, all the things that they did to help continue. Especially those two little girls. Can you imagine being 9 and 11? And all the things that they went through, they were publicly humiliated. But they knew that they were preparing so that all of us could know that we do go on from this earth plane. And as you start preparing your garden, you may find those little, I know I was just digging some of my plants out the other day and I found those little worms, you know, I don't know what they're called, earthworms. I don't like crawly things. But I saw the earthworms and I'm like, oh, this is supposed to mean really good soil. That's good. Part of me wanted to get rid of them because I don't like crawly things, but I said, no, they're good. They're good for that. Means there's good soil there. And then I would come across a part where there was some more weeds or one of those plants that died, you know, during the freeze. We do get freezes. I'm from Ocala. We do get freezes. Lost quite a few. But I had to pull some of that out. And not only did I just have to pull the plant out, but I had to pull all the roots that had grown underneath. And you can tell when a plant isn't good, it's not going to make it when you pull it up and it just comes right out of the ground. You also have to prepare the plant, which I did not know this, but you do have to loosen. When you take a plant out of the soil, you do have to loosen the soil before you put it in the dirt. And sometimes that's what we have to do. We have to shake loose all the garbage that's in our life so that we can prepare ourselves to have a good foundation. Because if you have all that old stuff in there, it's eventually going to choke out the new stuff. And the new stuff can't put forth its roots and grow. So when you're looking through your life, the first thing you have to do is to know yourself. How many of you really, really, really know who you are? It takes work. It does take work because when things come up, you get to look at it. Well, you can. We have personal choice, personal responsibility. But if things happen in your life, it's bringing these things up so that you can get rid of all that old garbage and you can continue to move on. Because that is your goal here, to grow and to nurture and to be of service and help others. You know, people come by my garden and they're like, oh, it's so beautiful. It's just so wonderful. The plants are so prolific and they're all blooming. And they say, what do you do? And I would like to say, oh, it's the fertilizer. But it's a lot more than that. And the last step is continued care. Because you can plant plants. I mean, we do live in Florida, so we do get rain quite frequently. We used to get rain about 4 o'clock every afternoon. I don't know what happened. We don't get that much anymore. We got a lot of rain this past year with that hurricane, didn't we? Probably too much, because I've seen trees uprooted. I mean, you can see them. In Ocala, we have a lot of horse barns, and we have big, huge oak trees. And you can see how they're uprooted from the ground. I think those are water oaks from what I remember, and they just spread the roots very surface. They don't go deep. So when you're continuing to care for your plants, you have to water them. It gets very hot here. Not like in, of course, the other side of the country, Las Vegas, but that's a dry heat, right? So we have to water. And whether you water daily or weekly or whatever your water restrictions are, you need to fertilize also. Because that fertilization gives the plants the nutrients that they need to grow. Some plants need magnesium, some need phosphorus, and all those other things. I just Google. My plant is turning, leaves are turning yellow, what do I get? Continued care, continued maintenance. Fortunately, we do have Google to look those things up these days. But continued care of your soul and of yourself. It's great to come to classes. It's wonderful. It's good to come to Sunday and Wednesday services too, because what does that do? It continues to feed your soul. You are here with like-minded people who want to learn and grow. And that's important. Because in today's day and age, with everything going on in the world, we need that. We need something to hold on to. That firm foundation of spiritualism. Now, sometimes people get things watered down, and in their continued care, they try to bring in this and bring in that, and add this and add that. But just like the 3 little piggies with the house, the one that stood firm was the one that was built on stone. If you have a firm foundation and firm soil and firm beliefs and knowledge, then it'll be easy to continually care for your garden. But it goes all the way back to the beginning. Just like in your personal life. You have to have that desire. You have to make a plan. You can't just go, okay, well, whatever happens, happens. I mean, it'd be nice to go through life that way. But you're not going to find that you're meeting the goals that you want to. What if Spirit at the beginning said, okay, well, I'll come through once, and hopefully I'll get it then? We wouldn't be very far, would we? But they continue to prepare us. They continue to work with us. And if you want health, wealth, happiness, peace, then you need to continue to work on yourselves. It sounds simple, but it can be very difficult. Because as you begin to work on yourselves, you'll start to feel better. There will be something that starts to grow inside you. And Spirit really does want to help you. Now, they're not going to do it for you, but they really do want to help you. And you need to ask. And so you know that prayer is speaking to God, and meditation is listening. Because in all of our craziness that's going on in our world these days, we need to go to that still, quiet place within us. That is that spark of the divine. That place where we truly reside. Not this body, not whoever you are, but inside. Because you are spirit first. First and foremost, you are spirit. But somehow when we come into this physical body, we kind of lose touch with that. Because we have to go to work and we have to pay the bills and we have to clean the yard and take out the garbage and take the kids and all that stuff. And we lose sight that we are spirit first. And it's amazing that it takes such effort for us to meditate and to sit in the quiet and the still, because things always come up. It's kind of like exercising, you know, things always come up. Remember that commercial on TV where this lady was saying to her husband was at the refrigerator, and she said, "Oh look, I got a check back from Allstate," or whatever, the people that send you the checks back. And he said, "Yeah, it's a good thing since we didn't use it." And she said, "Oh, I wish we could get a refund on our gym equipment or our gym exercise since we didn't use it." See, but we're so blessed as spiritualists because we have steps for continued care. There are principles. There are natural laws. We have guidelines. We have access to all of that information. All of it. But are you going to take the time to learn that? Let me give you a little secret. Whatever you learn here, whatever you do here, goes with you. So the more you learn, the more you grow. The more you learn these principles and live by these principles. Because as it is here, it is the same there. You do make your own happiness or unhappiness. It's up to you. And Spirit gives us continued care. Because they're always here with us. When you ask for help and you go into that meditative state, Spirit will help you. They will give you what you need. They will give you the answers. But we have to do our part, like our healing prayer says. And I will do my part. And doing your part, you need to listen. You get so many messages from Spirit all day long. How many of you have ever been driving down a road and thought, "Oh, I'm not going to go that way, I'm going to go this way," only to find out there was an accident? Or you're driving down the road and you're like, "Oh, I better slow down." 2 blocks up, there's a cop giving tickets. You are continually guided beings. But your information from Spirit doesn't come in on this cloud of glory, and you don't hear angels singing and lights flashing and sparklers going off. It is that still, small voice that when you ask, it is given. Yes, the world is difficult. We have guidance. We have help. Spirit wants us to help us and grow and learn to love and help each other. Because that's what we're here for. We are all one. It's the same. And when we go over to the spirit world, we take who we are. And we are light beings. And then we recognize that oneness. Let's recognize that oneness here. Continued care. Don't you feel good when you open the door for somebody? Or give them a smile? Not that I watch a lot of TV, but it reminds me of this commercial. It's on in the background. I'm not really paying attention to it. But it's so nice. This lady was trying to push a stroller up some steps, and this gentleman helped her get up the steps. Simple thing. Took him maybe 30 seconds. Maybe. Helps that woman tremendously. How many little things can you do for people that'll help make a huge difference in their life? Because not only do we continually need to care for ourselves, but we need to continue to care for our family. Touching in with Spirit, meditating, listening. I'm a registered nurse by trade, but I can tell you that meditation helps every aspect of your life. And I'm not just saying that. Harvard has done a lot of studies on meditation and healing. But keep with that continued care. What's in your garden? What's your plan? What's your desire for your life? Are you preparing for that? Because with every goal there comes work. And are you caring for it properly? God bless you all.